I think when Luton Town got promoted to the Premier League, the 23-24 season, I think most people saw it as like a beacon of light for like lower division teams and EFL Championship teams, because it's like this team with a monumental rise through like from like Division 5, like the national leagues, all the way up to like the Premier League in like 10 years. It's what it took them. Was a monumental thing, and probably was a beacon of light for all of those teams. That beacon of light has immediately failed after Luton Town got relegated from the Premier League in the 23-24 season. Pretty sure they ended the season in 18th place, right? Yes, they ended the season on 18th place, 26 points. One of the worst sides to ever play in Premier League. It got worse because as soon as they came back down to the EFL Championship, the teams that they fell with, like Burnley, I think it was not Burnley. Yeah, it was Burnley. Burnley and Sheffield. Burnley and Sheffield did well. Like Sheffield has to spend another season in the Championship, but they were there. They were the third best team in the overall regular season, and then Burnley were second place, best defense in England. But Luton Town definitely fell off dramatically because they ended off the season in 22nd place on 49 points, only 13 wins the whole season, 23 losses, 10 draws. A goal difference of -24. They finished 22nd, which is a relegation spot in the EFL Championship. I don't remember if 21st is also a relegation spot. I don't think it is, so that would mean Hull City managed to stay alive, as Luton Town, Plymouth Argyle, and Cardiff all got relegated. All the way down to, I think it's... What's the third? National League 1, I think? No, it's Football League 1. My bad. National League is like when it gets to like really, really low, right? Like National League North and South or something. But anyways, I kind of want to go through all the matches they played throughout the entire season. Not necessarily like a nice deep dive into this, but more like just a game. More like just looking at the games that they played and seeing where it all like fell off for them. So that is definitely where the season starts. Okay. So before all of this, they would have to play themselves some friendlies, which were played. They played 4 or 5 friendly. They played 5 friendlies before the beginning of the season. They played against AGF. I don't even have a clue where that's from. They lost 2-1. They played against, I'm not even going to bother saying this name, beat them 1-0. Drew 2-2 with Dundee United. Lost 3-2 to, I don't even know how to say this, Gostep, and lost 3-1 to Celta Vigo. And then started their season in the Championship against Burnley at home. They lost 4-1. Following that was a 0-0 draw at Portsmouth and a 1-0 loss at Preston. So 3 matches played. They have 0 points. Also, they got eliminated on penalties by QPR in the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup, whatever you want to say. And then they played against QPR again, this time at Luton Town Stadium, and they lost 2-1 at home against QPR. Following that, they actually managed to pick up their first win of the season, which was a 1-0 away win against Millwall. Following that, they also got another win, which was a 2-1 win against Sheffield Wednesday at home. They proceeded to follow this up by losing 3-1 to Plymouth Argyle, which, I mean, for the longest time was the worst championship team of the season until, Cardiff just fell off. And then we continue into the slate. They They drew 2-all to Oxford United at home, lost 2-0 against Sheffield United away, won 3-0 against Watford at home, and lost 2-1 against Sunderland at home. So that was that. This is into October and November. They lost to Coventry 3-2 in away, drew 1-all against West Brom at home. Against Cardiff City at home, they only managed to scrape by 1-0. Against Middlesbrough away, they got absolutely mauled, losing 5-1. And honestly, their season hasn't been, to this point, was not great. But it wasn't absolutely horrendous. For a team that just came from the Premier League down, it is kind of horrendous. But for Luton Town and what we expected of them, it's not terrible. They're still safe-ish. Following this off, they won 1-0 at home against Hull City, and then in an away game against Leeds United, they lost 3-0. Following that, they had a game against Norwich City away, and they lost that game 4-2. Coming back home to play against Swansea, they drew the game 1-all. Against Stoke City, they managed to scrape by 2-1, and then lost 2-0 Blackburn Rovers. 1 second. Alright, so back to this. My dog just wanted to come in. Alright, and then against Derby County, they won 2-1, scraping by at home, which honestly kind of just shows Luton Town's season. Even when they were at home, they could never get a comfortable win. It was always a scrappy game. Following this up, against Bristol City away, they lost 1-0. Against Swansea, they lost 2-1 away. At home against Norwich, they lost 1-0. Against QPR away, they lost 2-1. In the FA Cup third round, something not to be completely embarrassed by. Nottingham Forest only beat them 2-0. Okay, they were over-exceeding in the Premier League too. That's a fine result. Then Luton Town against Preston. Luton Town drew the game 0-0. Against Oxford United away, they lost 3-2. Against Millwall at home, Millwall got their revenge and won 1-0. Sheffield Wednesday away, they drew 1-1. Against Sunderland away, they lost 2-0. Against Sheffield United at home, lost 1-0. So after that, we go after their win against Derby County. They went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games without a win. This is also, I didn't say them too, but they lost 2-0 away against Watford and drew 1-all with Plymouth Argyle at home. Their other win was they finally got a win against Portsmouth. They won 1-0. Then they play against Burnley away, and Burnley smacked them up. They won 4-0 away. Luton Town had no chance. Playing against Cardiff City, Luton Town actually managed to get a win here and beat Cardiff 2-1, getting the season double over them. Against Middlesbrough, they drew 0-0, better than losing 5-1. Against Hull City, Luton Town won 1-0 away, which completes the double over Hull City as well. Luton Town then drew to Leeds 1-all, and now we are getting an insanely decent run for Luton Town in the league. Then came Stoke City again. Away they drew 1-1. At home against Blackburn, they lost the game 1-0. Against Derby County away, they managed to win 1-0. And then ending off all of this, Against Bristol City, they won 3-1. Against Coventry, they managed to scrape by 1-0. And finally, against West Brom, final day of the season, they lost 5-3. That's actually insane. They had to pull up all the stops, and they gave it everything they had. Okay, like looking at the score, they gave everything they had that last game. It ended up not meaning anything because at the end of the day, you know, unfortunate for them, Hull City beat them to surviving on goal difference. And that's the season. That was the season for Luton Town. It was very depressing and very mediocre. Truly, I mean, they were never a huge team, but like I said, literally a year ago they were in the Premier League, and now they're playing in the third division of English football, which is still a pretty good division compared to most other leagues in the world, but it's still the third division of English football. I mean, I don't know how England is with bankruptcy and all that, but hopefully it's not terrible, because Luton Town, I'm not gonna lie, they might not come back up for a while. Maybe they never go to the Premier League again, but all I can really say about Luton Town's story is that it was fun while it lasted. Anyways, that is the end of the video. I know it's not what most of you guys probably expect, but this is the type of videos that I make. I don't know, I just kind of like just glossing over games and just like seeing scores. If I wasted your time, I don't know, then why'd you watch it? Anyways, yeah, that's the end. Subscribe if you haven't. Proceed to call me an idiot in the comments for not knowing too much about Luton Town. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.